Dear God, I am so alone. These are the words which come to me when I'm overcome with emotion, swept up in the throes of my bereftness and carried, flailing, casting about for anything to hold on to, in the grip of currents urgent and lethal in which I cannot withstand. I'm not strong enough. In the months after he died, I couldn't live. I simply could not. Every conscious moment a crisis realization, a remembering, every thought uninvited in a terrible way. The past was torture, the present a rock held fast to with all my strength, blasted by the ferocity of the black and churning water, its icy coldness. The future a conveyor belt of scenes and places he will not be. The house. I walked into our room which I no longer slept in, and I was struck by the dread that with every moment, every second which passed, his presence disappeared further, an entropic spread of scent, embodiment, and panicked, dreading any exacerbation by my hand of this impermanence. I quickly pulled open a drawer or cupboard door, and I took in his aftershave and the smell of his skin through his clothes, and for a second, with a power which would never lessen, he was alive and with me. He reached me in some way. There was something physical and corporeal in this world which was of him. I breathed in the smell like drawing in life. The house, the building, small, Spartan, furnished with all the little unassuming details of his carpentry, which tore at the fabric of my heart to see. The rooms, the objects, the life so impossibly tied up with him. The walls of the house breathed with his presence after he left.
But I kept running into closed doors. Sledgehammers were hitting my face. My heart was prepared on a surgeon's table for repeat extirpation.
I found his medication and toiletries in the sink cabinet. The medication had his name on it. I found shorthand notes left to himself and tried, with a disproportionate and overbearing sense of crucial importance, to pass their meaning. Little jokes he'd written which crushed me. Each a moment in time in his life, each a pure and vital and impossibly real creation, a window into his still living head.
I was a silhouette. I was an impression left. I was a passing shadow, a reflection.
I found words and phrases auto-filled, not written by me. I found folded over pages, tickets, receipts, the safest place in books he never and now would never finish reading.
I was the trees in winter. I was the sun in eclipse. I was a river in drought, an endlessly receding tide.
I found everything of his. Anything. I could throw nothing away, not one thing that once belonged to him. I was destroyed by sentimentality. At first I fought the memories, willed my mind blank, or attempted to distract myself with reading, films, anything, and then relented. Relented because with what armature, when I was already so weakened, could I fight this thing? The evocation of memory. The power of nostalgia for somebody you loved who is gone. There's a dream I have where he walks through the door. For a time, as long as the dream lasts, I'm so unutterably happy that I cannot speak. Words abandon me. A happiness which is so complete that I think of all the moments before when it was real, where I was not happy or tired or cross for any reason, rocked by the world and adversarial with him in expression, and I'm filled with a hatred of self more powerful than I could ever have imagined feeling. When I remember those moments, I want to seize my past self by the shoulders and scream in my face. Just scream. How could he do it to me? A question without answer. Not how could he go through with it, summon the will. Our lives were both imperfect. We were both in a storm, both hurricanes. Both had felt the coldness of that water. Now, how could he leave me? How could he extinguish all the joy he brought into my life? Another day, this is what I dream of. To say goodbye, to tell him everything he meant to me and everything he ever made me feel. All my regrets, my complexes, my contrition, every unspoken word, every one-time inexpressible notion, my impossible gratefulness, for brightening my life for as long as he did. All these things which would take another lifetime together to share. So I would settle for a day. A day to listen to his voice and laugh. His voice, which said to me, "You're perfect." And when he cried, and I held him, and all I could think in my head was I must do what he would, if I were him. If it were me crying and him holding me. What he would do. Now I know a heart is a muscle. A person is a body. Happiness is not worth it. Not if this is its aftermath. The rest of my unremarkable life to be endured. My straightened, my disarrayed future to live out alone. The loss of his presence taking something of me with it, which was gone forever now. An irreplaceable absence, and that is just waterfall upon waterfall, loss in cascade, crashing, collapsing, down, down, lower, deeper to where you are eroded. You are diminished so fully you become something not even recognizable as human anymore. How could a human feel this bad? And then a reverie. A stirring, heartfelt moment which arises unsought from memory with the cruelty of dreams. But you fool your own feelings into believing they're real. And you laugh, you cry, you're hysterical either way. Your heart is full of love, even as it is rent, mutilated by grief. Your smile at the memory is as powerful as your mourning of its passing. When the voices say grief is a process, loss works in stages, bipolar can be learned to be lived with, and I say melt down my body, dismember it, crack the involucre and pour me out. Amalgamate my essence into the greater body of loss, where my grief can become anonymized, plural, my wail can join the everlasting chorus. Let me die! Ah! How can I hold it all up inside myself? How can I carry it? How can I bear the weight of all that time together?